Jimmy Donzo. Today is day 25 of my 90-day video challenge. I think it's 25. I really am losing track of which day it is now because I've been doing these videos every day, and I'm losing track, but I think it's day 25 today. Yesterday I was so busy, I was just working, I was training up 20 dancers to become qualified dance teachers, so I really just didn't have the time to make a video yesterday, to be honest. And today I'm actually having lunch with a special friend who I've known for years, but we've just linked up recently, and it's really good catching up with him. His name is Andrew Profit. Say hello, Andrew.
Hi people.
So it's a really, really nice day today. We're blessed to have this beautiful weather because it's nearly October in London and the sun is still shining, so we're really making the most of it. And I was just talking to Andrew really about relationships and stuff, you know, like you guys know that I'm single and I'm looking for a relationship, and I'm thinking to myself, what does it really take to have a relationship? You know, what do you need to do? What kind of person am I looking for? Because I almost feel lost in a way. So, but it's really interesting talking to Andrew. He's really shared some interesting stuff with me. So, Andrew, why don't you tell us exactly? Yeah. So, to have a relationship with someone, what exactly does it require? What's it going to take? Like, what is the commitment we have to make to each other, kind of thing? How do I know if the person's right for me?
Okay. Well, I think first and foremost, you have to start with yourself. If you've not got self-awareness and you're not actually in a place where you're ready to accept another person on that open level, it's going to be hard to be in a relationship first and foremost. But it all has to be encased and embodied in trust and the truth. If you're not able to look at yourself in an honest manner, how are you going to expect to trust somebody else when you know that you're not actually keeping true to your ethics and your integrity may waver from time to time? I'm not saying we all need to be angels, but obviously if you're going to be in a relationship, and obviously you must be talking about a long-term commitment and not just a fling, or, you know, I like this guy, he likes me, I want to do a thing. You have to be fully aware of the complications that may come across in life. Life's not a straight road. You have roundabouts, you have lefts and rights, and you need to be aware of that within yourself and also the other person. And likewise, it's the flip side to a coin. Just like you have a head and a tail, you need to understand that at the point of meeting that person, there's a connection there on a level where you trust them and they know themselves, likewise how you know yours. Any other questions?
Do you know what? Andrew's become quite the expert now in relationships. I think any time I go on a date or something, I'm going to have to call Andrew up and ask for advice and stuff. Andrew's been reading some great books. Show us some books which you got recently.
Okay, so
guys, my batteries actually run out, and I just replaced them, so we're going to carry on. So hold on a minute. Andrew was just talking about his book of secrets.
Okay, so yeah, bear with me. I forgot to tell you all, this is the first time I'm actually doing something for YouTube on camera, so bear with me. I noticed before when we was just looking back over things, my eyes were wandering back and forth, so I'm going to try and look right at you in the camera this time rather than moving from side to side. But, you know, put your comments on and let me know how I've done so far. Anyway, going back to the book. So we got the book here. It's called The Book of Secrets. That's quite funny because I went for an interview last week, Tuesday, and I went to Foyles up in Tottenham Court Road. I was looking for a book in particular, actually, that came from the result of looking at some of the Dance Mass TV footages and then the associated links that you have on there. But then I clicked through onto another video, and then I clicked through onto another video, and then there was this book. But I couldn't remember the name because it was all quite spontaneous, but it was The Key of something. So I couldn't find it. So I was in there for a while looking for this book, couldn't find it. And then I was just about to leave, and then I saw this massive book that looked like a Bible, but it's not. So anyway, going back to what I was talking about before, it spoke about duality and the fact that in everybody there's a masculine and feminine side. And the whole point of understanding the difference between the two is that it's an Indian philosophy, and it's all around the Tantra, and Tantra means technique. And the masculine side is seen as the master, and the feminine side is seen as the disciple. So what it's saying, if you want to truly learn anything, and you want to have a deeper understanding of knowledge, you have to adopt your feminine side in order to learn. And this is all encased in a loving environment. So it's almost as if you imagine yourself as not just being a man not just being a woman, but being a man and a woman. I know it sounds a bit crazy, but if you imagine that for 1 second, it's about having that conversation with each other. So if your master was to tell you something and you disagreed with it, you might react in a negative way and be really defensive. But if your master did it in a loving way, you would absorb it and say, this person cares for me and they're all about me. So it also, I've not read much of it, it's only about 5 pages, but it talks about the difference between the language of love and the language of logic. Now, the language of logic's encased in a way where we talk about ourselves, and it's very egocentrical. So it's about what we want to do over what the other person wants to do. So it's very much I'm right, you're wrong. It doesn't take into consideration about caring or actually passing that knowledge on. If you like, it's similar to the difference between psychology and science, where psychology is all about understanding the reason why, but it will just tell you the answer. And science is about understanding how something works. So in understanding the how, you have to experiment, and the answer might not, or the results might not always be the same, but it's through that experiment and the experience that you gain, you actually come to a place where you can have a conclusion. Now that's the kind of way we need to embody learning stuff, in particular knowledge. And by being feminine, if there's no change that takes place, similar to like a woman in the womb when she conceives a child. Before a woman has a child, she's an entity within herself. She conceives a child, and that child's not a foreign alien part of her, it becomes a part of her, and it starts to grow. She becomes creative until the point where a child's fully formed and it's able to go on its own path and think for itself. And it's the same experience you need to gain when trying to learn something new in life. You need to adopt this subject matter, let's say it's The Secret, and once you've got The Secret, you then need to interact with it in some sort of way so that it changes you. If no change takes place in you, you're not going to be able to implement it and follow through with it on an everyday level with your life. So I would say it takes on average 3 days to become familiar with something so that you plant the seeds of a habit. And then if you were to follow through with that for a further 3 months, that would be enough for you not to even realise what your life was like before that came into your life. I'm waffling here, but that's where I'll stop on that subject for now. But it's a great book. As I said, I've just read the introduction, but it's got some really good concepts. And the first chapter is all about preparing your mind to a level so that you actually understand how to absorb the information that it's going to share.
Wicked. That book sounds really interesting, Andrew, and I hope I get to borrow it.
Well, it's a very big book. How long do you think it's going to take for you to read a book this size?
Well, I don't know. If you've only just read the introduction and you've learned that much already, then the book's going to be quite good.
Exactly.
Okay, great. Anyway, we better sign off now because I think YouTube only allowed 10 minutes for these videos, so we need to sign off. But I just want to touch base with you guys and just let you know what I'm up to today, hanging out with Andrew. Andrew's very much in the music scene in a way, and he knows a lot of dancers, don't you? What do you do in the music scene? Okay,
so the company that we've set up is called Shadowless Productions. We've been going for about 10 years. We've got an entourage of producers and artists. Basically, we've got a few artists that are assigned to an independent label known as Big Dada, sister company of Ninja Tunes. The artist I want you all to be aware of and look out for now, his album came out last month. It's Jerusalem Cometh, and he's been on the scene for a number of years now. He used to be in Gamma, started off in New Flesh for Old, that then became New Flesh, and this is his first debut solo album. You need to see this guy. He's got the skills to pay the bills. He is one of the top artists, always traveling around the globe. If you haven't heard him, check him out. Either go to shadowless.com, which, you know, we don't need to spell it. It's just shadow and then LESS on the end.com, and check out some of the tracks. We've got some bite-sized chunks for you to get a feel for what the artist is all about.
Wicked. Alright guys, so signing off now. You have a lovely day and I'll see you in my video tomorrow. Say bye, Andrew.
Bye. I might catch you on YouTube sometime soon. Cheers.